Okay, guys, here we go. I've got an update for you today. Somebody made a comment on my recent live stream and said that certain things have to take place in order for XYZ to occur. And I responded and I said, I'm going to do a live about it. So I'm doing that live about it. However, here's the problem. Many of you guys know I'm transitioning to another channel or two. And so if you're watching me right now and you are not on the two channels, one of the two, Heaven's News Broadcast on YouTube or My DeFi Guru on YouTube, you're going to need to go over there and find us. The link is actually in your description section right now of this video that you're watching if you are on any other channel. So go find us there. I'm terminating the broadcast on every other channel except for there, where I'm going to continue streaming. So let's go and find me over there if you're not there now. And here we go. Let's talk about what God is doing. All right, here we go. So we've only got the two channels left. Guys, if you're watching on one of those two channels, comment. If you can still hear me, that's you. Let me know where you're tuning in from. We've got Melton from Decatur. Okay, welcome. We've got Buster. We've got Dustin, who was here first. Let me know where you're tuning in from, guys, and we're going to go ahead and get started. Excellent. All right, come on in, guys. Come on in. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Let's get this party started. Let me know where you're tuning in from in the comment section. Bring it on. Land of 1,000 lakes. Greg from what? Charles from Michigan. All right. Blessings. That was hilarious. Greg from, you're leaving me in suspense here. Susan from Tennessee. Charles from Michigan. Greg from Los Barrios, Mexico. Jay Bala from Mom's Basement. Okay. Carlos from El Paso, Texas. Very good. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and get into the content. Here's what we got going on. Really interesting situation that we've got going on here. And I'm going to talk about that right now. El Paso and Dominican. All right, let's do this. As you can see, it's time for me to get off. As soon as I got on, I'm pretty tired. We've had a long day. What a blessing of a day, though. My goodness. Sean from Virginia. God bless you, Sean. Let's take a look at this post here. So if you guys are wondering, what occurred today? This is what happened today. So if you're watching my screen here, you can see this absolutely stupid dump right here. I mean, it was just classic, you know, they said it was Binance. I saw a post that said it was Binance, but basically, if you look at how much was sold here, look at this red line, first of all, compared to all the other lines, right? Somebody came in a big strategic move and said, booyah, and literally just knocked out. Why did they do it? Well, easy enough, guys, because that's what they do. Let me show you why they did it. Everybody thought that it was I don't know what I'm looking at right now, to be honest with you. Oh, this is Bitcoin. I think it was it was the altcoins that I was looking at. They were actually, especially XLM guys, the altcoins were actually getting ready to spike right here. While Bitcoin was coming down a little bit right here, the altcoins were beginning to spike. And this is what I wanted to share with you guys here. Now, this is not necessarily prophetic, guys. This is simply me showing you guys what I know in the natural based upon a few things. Now, I'm going to get to something that I wanted to share this morning. However, because of what took place today, this actually shows. So let me get back to watch this. This actually shows you how much was sold in a 15-minute period. First of all, let's just not forget that all of this was in this is a 15-minute candle right here. This ridiculous drop from, look at this, 114,753, all the way down to 110,615. Guys, literally $4,000 dropped off Bitcoin in a 15-minute candle. That was stupid. And so you have to imagine it was a pretty big, why is this not? There we go. Maybe this is, anyway, let's look at the number here. That's 140 million. Now, this is just on Coinbase. So this is just one exchange. I don't know how much this measures, but basically what we're seeing here, does anybody know how much this is it only one exchange that this is the, what's this thing called? The volume, total dollar volume. I guess is it the whole market? I don't even know. Somebody can comment and let me know. But anyway, while we're waiting on that comment, regardless, 140 million, right? Compared to, look at all these other moves here, guys. What's a normal move, right? On a small scale, we got this little guy here, 740,000. You know, I don't know. What's this one? That's a big move. That's 12 million. 12 million. This one, look at that. $140 million. Talk about like BlackRock something, right? So anyway, let me see if I can now find a comment. Okay. Somebody sold 24,000 Bitcoin. It's all of the exchanges. Okay. All right. That makes more sense anyway. All of the exchanges. Yeah. Okay. So anyhow, yeah, I was wondering, especially since it said total dollar volume. So that's good to know anyway, just for clarification. But watch this, guys. I want to show you a post that is really, really crazy because we're actually watching it play out right now. Okay. Where is it? This was posted yesterday in the middle of the day. yesterday in the middle of the day. Now, this guy basically said, watch this in this post. He says yesterday, daily technical analysis targeting 122,000 out the classic wedge. So basically, he believes it's going to 122,000. But watch what he said. He said, "No, this is one of the most predictable and successful trading setups. I even display these levels on the liquidation level chart, and you should use them. Price will most often be manipulated down for accumulation." This is what we just had happen today. "And then retrace 50% to the upside, and then retrace 50% to the downside. That is your entry. Write it to the take profit at the top of the wedge target with stop loss under the double bottom." Okay. That being said, I want to show you guys back here on the charts. Watch this. We just saw exactly what he described. This was the market manipulation. And then watch this. I want to show this to you. It dropped from here to the bottom. Look at this. Is 3.59%, 3.6%. He said it would retrace 50%. We come up to the top. One, roughly a little over halfway, I guess. But then he said it would retrace 50%, remember, upward, and then 50% downward. Now watch this. Let's go from here. Oh, sorry. What was this? That's what I was looking for. It was this one. What did I say? 3.6%. So then if you go from here now, 3.6%, this is roughly, 1.4%. Okay. But basically, give or take, you're seeing the exact thing play out that he was describing. All right. So I don't know how long this has to formulate or maneuver, or maybe I'm even looking at it on a much smaller time period than what I'm supposed to be. But regardless, what he's proposing is that Bitcoin's next stop is going to be at 122,000. Now, here's the crazy part. This is what I think a lot of people don't understand. What I'm about to share with you guys. I don't know if you guys remember me showing you this. But I'm about to. Remember the Bitcoin dominance chart that has been cultivating now for 3 years, forming this ascending wedge? So this started, remember, here in September of 2022. We are now about to be in September of 2025. However, when it breaks down out of that wedge, okay, that's what we've been looking for. And that's what it tried to do up here, and it got sent back up, and it even, came up and even peaked through, and that's normally how it does when it's just gaining momentum in any direction. But you can see after it peaked, it got sent back, blah, 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 right? Well, we've been in a breakout of that wedge, hit it a couple of times here ever since the 3rd of August. Okay, this is 21 days later, 3 weeks later, we've been out of this wedge. Now, here's the crazy part. I had drawn this trend line here that I was looking for this support all the way back. And you could see I made this support in this range to try to see where, and the reason was, I think it's because it had touched here, but then I was looking back to see, and I found other places where this was a resistance here, support here, roughly, right? And I was like, all right, this is a good place. And what we are seeing is that we're below that line right now. What this means is we have a strong indication. Now it's really working this line. You can see it, right? It's even trying, if we even zoom in, you can even see it's trying to come back up, like it's trying to come back up to that line. So you can tell it's really working this resistance support level. But my point is if this holds, this is really what would be considered a solid breakout to the downside of what this ascending wedge that's been going on for 3 years, which is what we've been waiting on to do. What? Remember, the altcoin season, guys. The altcoin season, which is something that nobody has even seen yet, folks. We all know, or some of us do, that Ethereum is the leading coin, altcoin, that drives altcoin season. Ethereum runs up first, and then the altcoins begin to follow. We have not seen this yet, and this is what I'm talking about. And let me tell you something. This is why I believe that the big corporations, like the ugly rock that's black in color, okay, this is why I believe that they are really priming the pump. They're preparing for this altcoin season to do the mass rug pull, folks, the mass rug pull. And so this is the crash that many people are anticipating, many people are prophesying. And I want to point out to you guys, let me see if I can find it. All right. Tell you what, instead of that, let me go ahead and pull this up real quick. Give me a second, guys. I don't even know where the tab is that I just was at. Oh, this is crazy. I'm actually on it right now. Sorry, guys. I am obviously tired. But here's my emphasis, okay? Right now, people don't understand a couple of things about the market. And let me just talk to the people that don't really understand crypto, right? Like you're new to this, you just got thrown into this because you're a believer and you started hearing prophetic words about it, and you're kind of like wondering, when this is going to happen, if it's even going to happen, right? And and so listen, I heard about this XRP MasterCard. Why don't you tell me where one could access this XRP MasterCard? Because I'm actually interested to hear about that. Show me the money, point me in the direction. But for what you guys don't understand, all right, let me make this as clear and as plain as I possibly can. Bitcoin drives the market. Everything follows Bitcoin, right? Until it doesn't. And so right now, this is what I need you to know. All right. Let me pull it up real quick so that you can understand. You need to understand the XRP MasterCard debit is on Gemini. All right. Thank you, Susan. Whoop, whoop. We're going to bust out that Gemini. All right. So let me pull this up here real quick. Oh, shoot. Guys, listen. I got to tell you something. Do you guys know my volume 2 came out today of When Two Kingdoms Collide? You've got to order the book. Volume 2 was released today. If you read volume 1, I want you to comment. Let me know how you liked it, and order volume 2, guys, because it's pretty exciting. Okay, let me tell you this, and let me show this to you. Really, is what I want to do. I want you guys to not forget where we've been here. I got to get rid of this trend line that I drew. I don't remember what I was doing here, but obviously something. So, this is in 2021 right here, where Bitcoin reached its peak, its high. We just beat that in March of 2024. And now this was in December of 2024. And then this was in August of 2025. My point is that Bitcoin is rising and holding. It's doing very, very well. We're seeing some retracements, but overall, Bitcoin is just killing it. And the point is that the longer that it holds up here at the top, the more potential we have of the altcoins beginning to run. And that's what we've all been waiting on, is the altcoins beginning to run. So any day now, basically, altcoins have the potential to begin to break out. And that's what's important for everybody to understand, is that, we've seen XLM go as high as 63 cents. Oh, that's interesting. I never even noticed that. That is eerily close to the number that God gave me in my dream. And I never even knew that its all-time high was 63.82 is what it's looking like. That's crazy. All right. But anyway, am I even showing you guys my screen right now? I got to go back. Sorry. My apologies. So here is the XLM chart, right? And you can see, this was back in November. Here's the cool thing. I love looking at this, because normally, like, this previous high is a resistance. So is this here, these two tops here. And so remember 51.4. What was my dream? 50. I did the math. It was 51.40. So 51.40 right there is where it is. Oh, I thought I was drawing another one. Sorry. Horizontal line. 51.40 right there. And that was my dream, not knowing anything, right? And look, it's right there at the top. And then the other dream that I had, oh, I can't tell you the number, can I? I only shared it with my private community. Well, it's right there at the top, folks. So what are the odds, right? You know, God knows what he's doing. And I think I just put an extra one on there. But my emphasis is this, guys. If you look at where we're at right now, and then just come up to this one, you know, it's a 26% gain. Come up to this one, that's a 57% gain. And however, many are seeing it going up to 80 cents. But remember, nobody is expecting to catch those prices, because I've had one person say 80 cents they saw in their dream. Okay, before it crashed. That was David Williams. Okay. Then I had another person said they saw 82 cents in their dream. Then I had another person say they saw 85 cents in their dream. I have not seen anything in the 80-cent range. The only thing that I have seen is close to this all-time high. And so while people have been seeing these, they've also, in fact, the same people, at least one of them that I can think of off the top of my head, also saw that they would not be able to fill their orders at these levels. And that's why Ryan Cunningham had a dream where he said, I see a warning at 67 cents. I see a warning at 67 cents. Well, look at that. Look at how close it is to the all-time high. So try to get greedy if you must. And here's the other thing too. A lot of people maybe just tuning into this don't even know, because they haven't been following the content. Number one, that much of what we share is prophetic in nature. But number two, that it's even going to crash. Some people don't even understand that. They don't even know it's going to crash. And so there's absolutely coming a crash, guys. And I'm going to tell you right now, as much as we would like to have XRP and XLM go, you know, XRP to $100, right? As much as we would like that to happen, it doesn't appear that it's going to be happening as the first maneuver. The first maneuver is actually going to be that it's going to go up, XLM to 80 cents, XRP to 504 is what I saw in my dream. And I didn't see any higher than 504 for XRP. And you ask yourself why? Well, back then I didn't know why. But I told you guys, we just follow the word of the Lord, right? At least that's what I do. And I don't lean on my own understanding, right? And so this is so ridiculous. You guys, I had a funny situation that occurred today. You guys know the Nextdoor app? I had a post come up that says Chucky is looking for a forever home. I thought to myself, God, I got to take a screenshot of that. God is speaking here, folks. Chucky is looking for a forever home. Amen. So pray for Chucky, would you? Because Chucky needs a forever home. I actually believe that that's prophetic. I believe God was speaking that what Chucky is truly in pursuit of, number one, obviously needs love in his life. And number two, forever represents eternal. Eternal. No temporary nonsense, no cheap sellouts to sin, and so on and so forth. Pray for Chucky, guys. Pray for Chucky. All right. The point is that the first move that we're going to see is going to be, I think that's kind of what everybody's expecting. I mean, it's 6 days away, and we're talking about how it's got to go up first. So yeah, that's basically the point, I think, right? But we can presume, right? And but here's the thing. It's going to go up. And this is when the moment that most people in crypto, guys, this is the moment that most people in crypto are going to believe that they're about to strike their own personal wealth transfer. And unfortunately, many are going to get wrecked. They're going to get wrecked. Do you remember the other day when I went live and I said, the crypto, the big crypto wreck or something like that? I actually took a screenshot. I don't know if I can find it, but they basically said that I was a huge sum of dollars was liquidated from all of the longs that people had open from that leverage trading. So point is that we're going to see this go up. And that's what I want to encourage you guys to understand. Number one, that when the charts tell you what the prophets have been telling you, then obviously it's reassuring and comforting, right? There are prophets that are saying, in fact, I just shared with you what my trader, I'm sorry, not prophets. There are traders, technical analysts that really, really believe that we're going to see a big correction, really big correction. And, the dream that I had where I saw Bitcoin at $72,000, 72,000, is that the number? Or 74,000. I think 72 was Robin Cunningham's that came to pass a few weeks later when he saw it, when it was at 84,000, and he saw it go to 72,000, and it did. I saw 74,000. And so, I don't know if it's going to go below that. I have no idea. I don't know if, in fact, oh yeah. Where was XRP when Bitcoin was at 72,000 or 74,000? It was right here. That was on April the 8th. So let me go to XRP. And on April the 8th. Oh, that's right. This is when April the 8th was when, remember, oh, this is so cool. I just love this, guys. I love how the Lord speaks. I forgot that I talked about this once before. And thank you, Kelvin. You're exactly right. When God showed me that Bitcoin was going to go to 74,000, I went and looked on the charts, and the last time it was at 74,000 was on April the 6th. So I went to April the 6th, and here it is on XRP when XRP tanked to $1.61. Remember that? $1.61. And so the point is that basically God was showing that it's going to do it again, because he showed me Bitcoin at 74,000, which is what brought XRP down to $1.61. However, if we're in the middle of an altcoin pump, I don't know. Like I would imagine it could sink deeper, you know, if they did that rug pull in the midst of the pump of the altcoins. I just would assume. I'm not that technical guru, but I can give you what I got. And so the point is that we have a lot of things on the charts signifying this upward momentum. But we have a lot of people who have not seen any price points beyond, you know, the 80-cent range for XLM and the $5 range for XRP. You know, so Kelvin said, I dreamed clearly that a crash to XRP $1.40 and Ethereum to 2,400. Not sure if it will happen. Well, I'm sure that the $1.40 will happen because that's the exact number that I saw in my dream. 100%. 100%. But my emphasis is we have the potential, guys, to collect some, you know, minor profits here on this upward maneuver. So basically, I don't know what to make of this flag right now because I don't know if I would draw probably there since it's all sorts of finagled. I don't know. This one's really weird. It's only got a couple of touch points. So is it forming a symmetrical triangle now? That's what I would suppose. I can't tell. Or would I put it like here and it's doing one of these? Probably, this is probably the most accurate for now, I guess. And if we're doing that, we just might as well do this. I don't know. What do you think, guys? Help me out. Is a descending broadening wedge bullish or bearish? A descending broadening wedge is considered a bullish reversal pattern, meaning it signals a potential shift from a downward to an upward trend. All right, so maybe that's what we're looking at. Jay Balla says, I think Ryan mentioned that it would drop to 35 cents to undercut its most recent lows. We just had that happen though, didn't we? Or did he say that after? Oh, to undercut its most recent lows. Let's see. Oh, okay. Because I think it bottomed at 36 cents. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing is 36.18. So I didn't hear that about what Ryan said. So, I mean, if that's if that's the case, then it would be more of a double bottom chart pattern. Yeah, Jay Bala, you're going to have to come on here and do the charts for us. If that's the case, it would be more of a double bottom chart pattern. I mean, yeah, that's yes, but who's going to have available liquidity that's not already got it in the market right now, unless you sold and are counting on that? I haven't. So I have, however, been making certain moves because we know prophetically it's going to go up. And so it's an extended, yeah, okay, all right. I was wondering about that. It's an extended bull flag. Are you sure? Because that's where I had my doubts. It's an extended bull flag. All right. So here we go. That would be what I would think. But what because this is on the day chart, what I've learned is that when it changes patterns, it changes its formation. And so like here would have been the original formation. And then when it broke out, which is what we were seeing, you know, that it was the breakout. I don't know. This is where I'm above my pay grade on the technical analysis. See, this is what the trader. No, I'm not. I have no doubt it's going to go up. In fact, that's what we've been talking about. So you don't need to promise. God already has promised. And yeah, XRP is. That's XRP is supposed to go to $5 before dropping. Yep, that's what we are believing. Yep. Kind of looks like an Elliott wave. So that's what the trader basically had said about Bitcoin, is that, you know, he said it was an Elliott wave. Yes, correct. But you still have the overall bull flag pattern. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough, because that I can still see, because you still have, yeah, it's still moving, even though it's been, you know, a bit modified. It still is forming, you know, but it is broadening, and that was what I had looked up. It's slightly broadening, and that's what they said. That's what I just looked up. It said it is a bullish pattern, so that's obviously good to know. And plus, if it is, as you can see here, it was riding the bottom trend line, and as it pushed up, if we do create a new trend line, it's basically working that top trend line, which is actually a healthy sign, because remember, when it works that means it's getting ready to do something strong. However, sometimes if it's a strong resistance, it'll send it downward. But in this case, basically all signs point to upward. So I think in this time of being on with you guys, it helped to process that for me. So we need to have this thing bust out for real. And let's see it happen. Okay. Well, guys, I'm just going to jump off. I wanted to share this with you guys to let you guys know, especially the biggest thing for me. And I really want you, if I leave you with anything today, it's going to be this Bitcoin, this Bitcoin dominance. Like, this thing is crazy how it's working this breakout line. Well, it's already broken through, and that's kind of what's going to drive the altcoins, is if it stays below this blue line. In fact, I'm going to take it back to where I originally trended this, because if you go back to this place, you can kind of see that even though it was like a support right here, sort of, and, you know, resistance, that once it broke through that was really what signified the altcoin season. This was 2021. This was January 2018. So, our 2017, December 2017, January 2018. So, the every 4-year deal, altcoin season, that's what we're looking for. And when it breaks this threshold is when it can tend to drive the altcoin season. And that's really what we're looking for. So it's looking really promising for that. We're expecting that any day now, but because this is on the 1-day chart, that's a long time frame. Every one of these candle spikes is a day. So, it could take some time, but we're there. And that breakout below this line has only, though, been occurring. It wrestled it since the 22nd. Wait. It's basically wrestled it since, 3 days ago, 2 days ago. But then it really, right here, which was today when the alts began to spike, that's what happened. And guys, this is when they did that freaking royal flush right here. They were pumping. The alts were pumping, man. And that's exactly why I think this big crash is coming to the altcoins, because these guys are trying to manipulate. They are so greedy and money hungry. They want to overthrow the world with their powers. And, these big corporations that are, the globalists, the elitists, the cabal. And you can see they did it today, man. Like this was the point. And if you're looking at the charts, like I'm looking at them, this is what they were going by. This blue line, because the moment, watch this, right? Today, this morning, 9:30 a.m., boom, 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 boom. And then all of a sudden, boom, 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 boom. And they wrecked it, man, with that big, gigantic Bitcoin sell-off. So, yeah, that's what they're talking about. Oh, I don't invest in Bitcoin. 100% the prophetic coins. Bitcoin just drives the market. That's what we were talking about earlier. Okay, trade like a pro's on. He says, bullish flag pattern, ascending channel, and bullish pennant, all very similar patterns, come in all shapes and sizes. This resembles closer to the bullish pennant. Okay, good to know. I'm going to screenshot that and look up your feedback. Appreciate your contribution. You always share some good stuff. We had a talk about the Nano Ledger recently. There was so many people that had said they had a bad feeling about it, including myself. I've never felt good about it, even though my trader friend uses it and he swears by it because it's one of the oldest around, most secure, according to, but I don't know, man. When I brought it up on the channel one day, live streaming, I had so many people in the comments. They're like, whoa, me too. They're like, I couldn't put my finger on it, but and so, yeah. Guys, I'm going to jump off. I'm actually really tired and it's 10 o'clock at night here. So God bless you. Thanks for being on. Talk to you soon. Take care. God bless.